സർവം ബ്രഹ്മമയം സർവം ബ്രഹ്മമയം. സർവം ബ്രഹ്മമയം സർവം ബ്രഹ്മമയം. രേ രേ 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 സർവം ബ്രഹ്മമയം. സർവം ബ്രഹ്മമയം സർവം ബ്രഹ്മമയം. രേ രേ 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 സർവം ബ്രഹ്മമയം. Hello, namaste. Can you hear? Audio is okay?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good
Audio
morning.
is clear?
Yes, everything okay.
Okay. We'll
Yes,
start.
very much.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Parambaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnur Gurur Devo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vasudeva Sudam Devam Kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Sarvasamshayacchettaram Satchidananda Vigraham Sada Susmera Vadanam Balakrishnam Namamyaham. Vidyaranyad Vaidyat Vyadheriva Bhavasya hi Vinutyai Pathyanyasvadyantam Panchadasi Prakaranani Bhakshyani. Om. Good morning and namaskaram to all. So we have been discussing Panchadasi and the first chapter Thatwa Viveka Prakaranam, and we have completed up to verse number 30. We started with 31 and we will continue from 31. Satkarma paripakate karunanidhino dhritaha prapya tirataruchayam visramyanti yatha sukham. So Vidyaranya Swami continues. He says that Nadyam Khida Iva Vartad Avartandaram Ashude Vrajanto Janmano Janma Labhande Naiva Nirvritim. The jivas are similar to the Kida, the worms in a whirlpool in a river, they move from one whirlpool to the next one and they continue there. So each whirlpool is one life, each janma, and move from one janma to another, and these jivas continue their journey like janmanaha janma, from one life to another, right? But what happens? Nirvritim na labhantecha, they never get any freedom, or they are bound by the karma and the karma phalam and again karma, like that the jivas are bound by this karma and they never get freedom from the karma. They always feel bound, and suffering is the result of such continuous movement from one whirlpool to another. So then what happens to this jivas? Satkarma paripakate. Satkarma, due to paripakat. Paripakat means getting matured, right? Paripaka means mature. How they get matured? That how the jivas get matured? By doing satkarma, doing punya karmas, right? That is the way spiritually they grow. Spiritual growth is happening to these jivas by doing lot of punya karmas, noble deeds. What are the noble deeds? Noble deeds we explained by making the karma as karma yoga, right? Shifting from karma to karma yoga. What is karma? Any action done with a expectation of a result, desiring a result, okay? Desiring a particular result when a karma is done, that is called karma. But when an action is done without any vested interest, there is no personal material or name and fame benefit out of it, any material benefit is not expected out of it, there is no desire at all. With that notion, if one is doing a karma, it is called karma yoga. So the shift from the karma to karma yoga is the process of doing punya karma, the noble deeds. What are the noble deeds? We explained last class also the Pancha Mahayajnas, right? The Pancha Mahayajnas, we said that it is the, what are the Pancha Mahayajnas? Deva Yajnam, Pitra Yajnam, Manushya Yajnam, Bhuta Yajnam and Brahma Yajnam, right? So this, so please refer to the previous class audio, we'll get all in detail. So these Pancha Mahayajnas, all the karmas, these karmas are done as an offering to Bhagavan without expecting any duty. These are my duties without expecting any result. So these are my duties. One who does karmas, these Panchamahayajnas will lead to all the karmas that we do becomes Panchamahayajnas, right? The whole life becomes Brahmayajnam. So one who is practicing this, by practicing such noble deeds, the jivas become matured enough. So they will come to a state where they will enter into a Vedanta class, Bhagavad Gita or Upanishads, etc. So Sat Karma Paripakate, when they are ready to receive the Jnanam, what happens? Karunanidhina, by someone who has got lots of karunyam, compassion. Who has got lots of karunyam? A guru. So a guru or Bhagavan himself, like there are some great Mahatmas like Ramana Maharshi, etc. So they don't have a physical guru outside, the consciousness itself, guru. Atma itself is the guru, right? Bhagavan itself is the guru. So the Bhagavan or any external guru by Karunanidhina, right? Guru is Brahman only, Bhagavan only, right? There is no difference between guru and Bhagavan. Guru is Bhagavan. Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, right? So that Karuna Nidhina, by a Guru who has got lots of Karunyam, what the Guru does? Udhritaha, they are being lifted. These jivas are lifted by the Gurus like a person who is on the shore, right? The person sees the worm in the nadi and he lifts the worm from the whirlpool and very easily puts the worm under the shadow of a tree, right? Tira taruchaya, a tree which is at the banks of the river, puts under the shade of a tree. Very easy for that person to lift, right? If the person is very heavy, very difficult to lift, right? Very difficult. So this is the physical lift. Someone who lifts this worm from the whirlpool is a physical lift, whereas if the being lifted is, say, the worm is so big, it will be very difficult. So like that, if the guru is lifting the jiva, it is not physical lift, it is the spiritual lift, right? So that is very easy for the guru. Why? Because guru is a brahmajnani. He has assimilated this knowledge. If the shishyas are very heavy, will be very difficult, to lift him. If the shishyas are very strong, what happens? The shishya will ask so many questions, and there will be so many shishyas and one guru, and the guru will, if the guru is not strong enough, then what will happen? The shishya will pull the guru also inside the whirlpool. So the guru will become, the guru will become the shishyas, right? So it is not like that. The guru is very strong. It is very easy for someone in the shore to lift the worms like that. Very easily the guru lifts. It is not at all a difficult task for a guru to lift the jiva, not physical lift, but spiritually they uplift very easily. Then what happens to that jiva? Yadha sukham visramyanti. They rest under the shadow of a tree. Similarly, they rest under the jnanam, right? Here the jnanam is the tirataru. Tirataru chaya, right? The shadow of a tree is the knowledge. It is the jnanam, right? So under that, the shishya is attaining peace. Yatha sukham visramyanti. They rest there peacefully. This is what happens when Arjuna, in Bhagavad Gita, you can see Arjuna was in a delusion, he was under moham, and then he says that Karpanya doshopahata svabhavaha pritchamitvam dharmasam mudhachedaha yat shreyasyam nishchitam bruhitanme shishyasteham sadhimam tvam prapannaha, right? So it is totally, he surrenders to the Guru and he says that whatever is shreyas for me, whatever is good for me, you please nishchitam bruhi. Hey Krishna, tell me very clearly, nishchitam bruhi. Clearly you tell me, because because of the karpanya dosham, my intellect is clouded, right? I have got this dosham of karpanya. What is karpanya dosham? Karpanya dosham is when someone leaves this world without atma jnanam. That is the karpanya dosha. So because of that, upahadas svabhavaha, my intellect is clouded because of this karpanya dosham. So prichamitvam dharma sammuda cheda. I don't know what is dharmam, what is adharmam. I have become dull, I have become mudaha. Mean my mind is not, or my intellect is not functioning properly. Then nishchitam bruhi, I am your shishya, you tell me very clearly, Krishna, what is shreyas for me. And then Krishna starts the Bhagavad Gita prahasanniva. Very easily he smiles at Arjuna. Why Krishna is smiling? Because Krishna is so sure that he will be able to lift the Arjuna who has got that paripakatvam. He has got that maturity because he has done a lot of punya karmas, and because of that punya karmas, Arjuna has become matured enough, right, to receive the jnanam. So similarly here, Vidyaranya Swami says, Satkarma paripagate karunanidhino dhritaha prapya tira taruchaya. Once they are under the shadow of a tree, they come to a very shanti. So what is the problem of this jiva? The problem of this jiva is avidya. Ignorance is the problem. Because of ignorance, the jiva is in the whirlpool of janma, one janma to another janma, like that. The ignorance is the cause. That is the root cause, avidya. What is avidya? Avidya is feeling that I am a limited person. I am limited. I have to acquire something from outside to feel purnatvam, not knowing that I am already purnam. Right? Aham brahmasmi is not clear. My purnatvam is not known. Intellectually, I don't have the knowledge that I am purnam, thinking that I am this limited personality. Limited by body, limited by mind, limited by intellect, right? So the purnatvam is not there. Because of this reason, this jiva is going after the objects, similar to a person who in want of some material going from one shopping complex to the next shopping complex. Like that, they move from one shopping complex to another shopping complex in search of materials to fulfill the desires, so that when the desires are fulfilled, they think that I will be permanently happy. Whereas that permanent happiness never comes by getting something from outside. Any object from the outside, one doesn't become purnam, because the object that we are desiring is also apurnam, right? Any object, anything, let it be health, let it be money, let it be a new relation, all that is perishable. It doesn't last. There will be separation between the object that a jiva desires and with whatever the jiva desires, that is also perishable. The obtaining object also is perishable. Because of this, purnatvam will never be obtained from an outside object. Not understanding this fact is the avidya. This is called avidya. This is the ignorance. Because of this ignorance, the jiva runs from shopping complex to shopping complex, or from one whirlpool to the another whirlpool. Like that, the jiva yatra continues. So this jiva, when doing a lot of good punya karmas, etc., right, they come to a paripakatvam and they start listening to a guru. Then what happens? What happens to this jiva? Upadeshamavapyaivam, 32nd verse. Upadeshamavapyaivam acharyat tattvadarshinaha panchakosha vivekena labhande narvritim param. Evam tattvadarshinaha acharyat. So the knowledge has to be obtained from an acharya who is tattvadarshinaha, who is atmajnani. Tattvadarshinaha means who has seen the truth. That means seen the truth means who has assimilated the truth. From a Shrotriya Brahmanishtaha Acharya, from an Acharya who is Atmajnani, right? From that is why Atmajnani is Shrotriya Brahmanishtaha is a must, mandatory. If not, what will happen? If the Shishya is strong, the Jnani will not be able to lift him. Whereas it will happen the opposite, vice versa. The Shishya will pull him down with him. So it must be a Tattva Jnani. It must be someone who has assimilated the knowledge. He is called Guru. Evam Tattvadarshinaha Acharyat Upadesham Avapya. What is the Upadesham? Upadesham is this. Very simple. Tat Tvamasi. Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. That is the Upadesham Acharya gives to the Jiva. Right? In Chandogya Upanishad, this is the Upadesham. You are that Brahma Vastu. You are Purnam. You don't have anything, any missing thing. You are always Purnam. Kurayundrumillai. That song is there, no? Similarly, there is no kurai. There is absolutely no deficiency. There is nothing. You are always Purnam. You are never Apurnam. This is the knowledge that is given by the Acharya. So that Upadesham Avapya. That Upadesham, receiving that Upadesham through what? How to give that Upadesham? Directly, if someone says Tattvamasi, it is very difficult to understand, right? So there is a method. There is a method by which this knowledge is imparted by the Acharya to the Shishya. There are various methods of teachings. Shariratraya Vivekam. Shariratraya Vivekam means Karana Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Sthula Shariram. This is the Shariratraya Vivekam. The Atma is not all of this. Then Panchakosha Vivekam, discrimination of the three bodies. Panchakosha Vivekam, discrimination by the 5 koshas, 5 coverings or 5 layers, the sheets. Panchakosha Vivekam. Then Avasthatraya Vivekam, that is another method. Three avasthas are there, like waking state, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. So these 3 states, Avasthatraya Vivekam. So discrimination, Avasthatraya Vivekam. Drik Drishya Vivekam is another one. Drik, the seer, and the seen, Drishyam. So these are the various methods through which the Guru imparts this knowledge to the Shishya. So here Vidyaranya Swami has taken Panchakosha Vivekena, by discrimination of the 5 koshas, layers. Actually, there is one whole chapter is there. A 3rd chapter of Panchadasi is Panchakosha Viveka Prakaranam. So there also we will go through the Panchakosha Vivekam in detail also. So here Vidyaranya Swami says Panchakosha Vivekena, by discriminating using the Panchakosha Vivekam. The Atma is not the sheets. Atma is not the 5 koshas. Atma is away from all of this. Atma is not these layers. So clearly explaining this, Param Nirvritim Labhante. What happens to the Jiva? The Jiva attains the ultimate Nirvriti. Ultimate Nirvriti. Shanti. Param Shanti. Means that Shanti will never get lost. The Shanti will not be, it will never go down. Right? Once the Shanti is obtained, the Shanti will last forever. Whereas we get Nirvriti every now and then. We get Shanti every now and then, but that is not permanent. How? Like from when our child gets the first, they get admission to the LKG, it starts. Right? Nirvriti. Oh, got LKG admission. Now there is no problem. And then afterwards, college admission. And then after that, we want the child to get married. Or before that, want a good job also. So at every stages, we get some Shanti. And then the son or daughter gets married. Then Shanti. Then we want them to have children. Then we get Shanti. And then they go to America or somewhere else. We get Shanti. And we go there to look after their children. Then we get Shanti. Like that, this Shanti is all broken. Okay, every moment, for a moment we get Shanti, again the next problem starts. The next thing starts. So this is not permanent Shanti. This is the lot of suffering is there in between this Shanti. Right? Like giving a small chocolate and then all the troubles are there. So like that, this Nirvritti is Param Shantim. Panchakosha Vivekena, that discriminating knowledge, clearly understanding Atma as not the five koshas, not the five layers. Panchakosha Vivekena is called Neti Neti Prakriya. Neti Neti, not this, not this, not the five koshas, not the Annamaya Kosha, not the Pranamaya Kosha, not the Manomaya Kosha, not the Vijnanamaya Kosha, not the Anandamaya Kosha. These are the five sheets, five layers of misconception. Right? All these five are removed and the Atma is revealed. That method is what Vidyaranya Swami is mentioning here. Upadeshamavapyaivam acharyat tattvadarshinaha panchakosha vivekena labhande nirvritim param. So, the Tirataru Chaya, which we mentioned earlier, is Atma, right? And the shade of the shade under the tree of a bank, right? The tree. Param Nirvritti is the total relief or the liberation, all that we can call. That is what will be Param Shantim, Param Nirvritim Labhante. So, what is this Panchakosham? What are these Panchakoshas? That is what Vidyaranya Swami explains from 33 to 48. Verse number 33. Annam prano mano buddhiranandascheti panchate koshastairavritasvatma vismritya samsritim vrajet. Annam prano mano buddhiranandascheti panchate koshastairavritasvatma vismrityasam sritim vrajet. Vismritya, by forgetting. Forgetting what? Atma Swarupam. Our Swarupam, our true nature is Atma. Aham Brahmasmi. I am this Atma. Right? This Vismritya, by forgetting this, by not remembering this knowledge, samsritim vrajed, acquires or reaches or falls into samsara. Why we forget our Atma Swarupam? Because Annam, Pranam, Annam means Annamaya Kosham. So these are the five layers which covers the Atma. Because of this five layers are covering the Atma, what happens? Vismritya. We forget the Atma Swarupam. What are the five sheets that is covering this Atma, covering this self? Annam, Pranaha, Mano, Buddhiranandascheti Panchate. These five layers. These five layers are called distraction. They distract from the Atma Swarupam, from the self. They distract and somehow we think that I am this five koshas. I am Annamaya Kosha. What is Annamaya Kosha? Annamaya Kosha is this body. Annam is this gross body. We already discussed this Annamaya Kosha in earlier also. right? This body, which is this annam, this is one kosha, which covers the Atma, and then pranaha. The next is the energy sheath, right? Prana. And then mano, manas, the mind, and then buddhi, the intellectual sheath. Then the ananda, the anandamaya kosha, okay? Anandamaya kosha, which is called karana shariram. This all we will explain in detail also next coming verses. So annam is the first one, right, which is there, which is as this body, then the prana, then the mind, then the intellect, and then the fifth sheath is the, which is closer to Atma, is called Anandamaya Kosha. See, when we do a self-enquiry, when we start our self-enquiry, we know that there are two things. One is the anatma, that is, one is jadam, the inert matter. The inert matter, the body, the mind, etc. And the other is the consciousness. The consciousness, the bodham, right? I am conscious. I am conscious of this body. I am conscious of this mind. I am conscious of even the intellect, right? This consciousness, right, is called bodham. So there are two things. It's also called Atma. So there are two things in the beginning of our inquiry. One is Atma, the other is the Jadam or the Anatma. Here we have to understand that this inert matter cannot know itself. This body, the sense organs, will not know anything, cannot experience anything unless there is the presence of this Chaitanyam in us. Right? See, basic example you can take. The eyes cannot know. If there is an eye here, eyes cannot see. Unless the Chaitanyam is there, we won't be able to see anything. Right? We say, okay, mind is there. If there is a mind, then we will be able to see. Now, even the mind to function, the consciousness has to be there. So the consciousness has to be present in every sense organs, every mind, every intellect, every cell to know something, right? So that consciousness is the mandatory thing. So when there is consciousness, the world experience is possible. If there is no consciousness, there will be no experience. That means everything has to be consciousness, right? So the consciousness is the most important, and that is our true nature. That is what it's the Bhagavan Vidyaranya Swami is going to explain in the coming verses. But somehow this knowledge that I am this consciousness is not felt by all, right? Somehow we identify ourselves with the Annamaya Kosha, this body. I am this body, I am this mind, etc. I am this Atma, which is Purna Swarupam, is never felt, is never understood, is never assimilated, because of these 5 layers are covering it. So we have to disconnect. We have to disconnect this Anatma from Atma. This disconnection from Atma to Anatma is an intellectual process. Okay? It's an intellectual process. Physically, these two cannot be separated, right? And it is intellectually we have to do this. Okay? Physically, no. Because in Atma, there is no Anatma. Atma will never become Anatma, and Anatma cannot be Atma. Right? So that is what Bhagavad Gita says, no? Nasato vidyade bhavo, na bhavo vidyade sadaha. So we have to intellectually understand and disconnect. That is the process of Panchakosha Viveka. So let us see. What is this Panchakosha Viveka? What is this Panchakosham? Syat Panchikrita Budothaha Dehasthulo Samjnagaha Linkedu Rajasaih Pranaihi Prana Karmendriyai Saha. Panchikrita Budothaha Sthula Dehaha. Very simple Sanskrit. Panchikrita, grossified Budothaha. We know the grossified elements, already we discussed, from the Tamoguna Pradhana Prakriti. I hope you remember. Tamoguna Pradhana Prakriti, right? From that, the Sattvic Akasha, Vayu, Agni, Jalam, Prithvi are born. Sattvika. So that is the Sattvamsham of the Tamoguna Pradhana Prakriti. Tamoguna Pradhana Prakriti, from there the Sattvamsham, because Tamoguna Pradhana Prakriti also has got the Sattvam and Rajas in it. From there these 5 elements are born, and from the elements they mix up in a certain way to get Sthula Bhutam. Right? The grossified Akasha, grossified Vayu, grossified Agni, grossified Jalam and grossified Prithvi. These Panchikrita Budhothaha, from the Uthaha means born out of the Panchikrita Bhutam, from the grossified elements, Sthula Dehaha, that is gross body, Anna Samjnagaha Syad, is called Annam or Annamaya Kosham. What is this Annamaya Kosham? This body, right? Which you see with a head, with a hand, with a trunk, with 2 legs, etc. What we see in a human being. Similarly, in a bird or an animal or in a plant, or even in the celestials, even in the sun, moon, etc. Whatever you are able to see as gross, okay, which can be seen and felt, etc. This is the Sthula body or Sthula Deham. This Sthula Deham is called Annamaya Kosham. Right? Here Annam means Anna Samjnagaha, means Annam. Here means Annamaya Kosham it is. Annamaya Kosha. So which is the Sthula body, this body, okay? With this body, with the hair, head, etc. What you see is the Annamaya Kosham. Clear? I hope clear. This is the Annamaya Kosham. So the Sthula Prabhanjam is the Sthula Deham of Bhagavan. The Virat Rupam. You remember Virat? We said Virat. That is the Vishwarupam. Virat Rupam. What you see is the Sthula Deham of the Bhagavan. Individually, this body which falls at a certain time, which has got a shelf life, and this is the one which is leaving or dropping. We say that when somebody dies, what happens to this sthula body? It gets deteriorated and disintegrates into the 5 big elements. So this is what Vasamsi Jirnani Yatha Vihaya Navani Ghrannadi Naroparani Tadha Sharirani Vihaya Jirnani Anyani Samyadi Navani Dehi. This Dehi, this Jivan, when the time comes, when this body, physical body, is incapable of handling the desires. When it is incapable of handling the desires, this body is dropped. The jiva drops its body. Vasamsi jirnani, how a cloth, when it is getting torn, we throw this old cloth and wear new clothes. Right? Similarly, the jiva, when this body, the physical body, is incapable of handling the desires, drops this body and finds a new body. Okay? Gets a new body or produces a new body to fulfill the desires. So this is what Vasamsi Jirnani Yatha Vihaya, how the dresses are thrown when it is torn. Navani Grinnadi Naroparani, how we wear a new clothes. Tatha, the same way. Sharirani Vihaya, this body is dropped. This is Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 22nd word. Right? Tatha Sharirani Vihaya, dropping this sthula body, Jirnani, when it is deteriorated, right? It is thrown. Anyani sanyati navani dehi. They get the new bodies. This body is the Annamaya Kosham. Okay? Now, next line. Lingetu. Linge here means what is the Sukshma Shariram? So, the first is the Sthula Shariram, that is called Annamaya Kosham. Sukshma Shariram has got three koshas are combined as Sukshma Shariram. I told you three Sharirams: Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram, Karana Shariram. And these three bodies are connected, or they are similar to the 5 koshas. The Sthula Shariram is the Annamaya Kosham. So Sthula Shariram is same as Annamaya Kosham. Sukshma Shariram is same as 3 koshas: Pranamaya Kosham, Manomaya Kosham, Vijnanamaya Kosham. So Pranamaya Kosham, Manomaya Kosham and Vijnanamaya Kosham. The vital sheath, that is called Pranamaya Kosham. Then the mental sheath is the Manomaya Kosham. The intellectual sheath is the Buddhi. That is the Vijnanamaya Kosham. These 3 koshas together is called Sukshma Shariram. Okay, anyone wants to note down, you can note down. It is the Sukshma Shariram. So Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram. So in that Sukshma Shariram, in Lingetu, in that Sukshma Shariram, Rajasaihi Pranaihi Pranaha Karmaindriyai Saha. Rajasaihi Pranaihi. We know, we have seen the 5 pranas. 5 pranas are from the Rajogunam of the 5 big elements together are the 5 pranas. What are the 5 pranas? Just refreshing. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Samana, Udana. So the 5 functions, the prana has got 5 functions. Pancha prana we call it. Prana, Apana, Vyana, Samana, Udana. Right? These are the 5 pranas, and each function we explained in our previous classes. Please refer back. These 5 pranas, Karmaindriyai Saha, along with the motor organs. Karmendriyas. What are the Karmendriyas? Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha. Vak, the speech. Pani, the hands. Right? Padam, the legs. Payu, the excretion. Upastha, the reproduction. Right? So these are the 5 organs. Karmendriyas, Upastha, Vak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha. So 5 Karmendriyas, 5 pranas. All they are Rajogunam. It is all Rajasaihi. Right? So Lingetu, in the Sukshma Shariram, Rajasaihi from the Rajogunam, Pranaihi, pranas, Karmendriyai Saha, along with the 5 Karmendriyas, Pranaha Samjnakaha. It is called the Pranamaya Kosham. So Sthula Annamaya Kosham explained. Then second is Pranamaya Kosham. So it is a portion of the Sukshma Shariram, a part of the subtle body. A part of subtle body has got three: Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamayam. Out of that, Pranamaya Kosha is explained here. A portion of Sukshma Shariram, total out of 17. Sukshma Shariram has got 17 parts. Those who remember, 5 pranas, 5 karmendriyas, then what are other 5? 5 jnanendriyas, mind, buddhi. Right? So these are the 17 parts of Sukshma Shariram. Out of that, 10 are this Pranamaya Kosha. Okay? So 5 pranas, 5 karmendriyas together is called Pranaha, Pranamaya Kosha. Okay? We have heard Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, Jnana Shakti. The Lalita Sahasranama it will come. Ichha Shakti is the desiring faculty, desiring power. Kriya Shakti is the action. So here the Kriya Shakti is the Pranamaya Kosha. Okay, just side note. And Jnana Shakti is the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Anyway, so this is the Pranamaya Kosha. So in the 34th verse, Vidyaranya Swami explains about Pranamaya Kosham and Annamaya Kosha. Annamaya Kosham and Pranamaya Kosham. Now, let us move to the next one. 35th verse. Satvikaihi dhindriyaihi sakam vimarshatma manomayaha tairev sakam vijnanamayodhir nischayatmika. Satvikaihi, those which are of sattva guna, sattwamsham. You know which are the sattwamsham? We know. Sense organs are sattwamsham, right? Dhindriyaihi sakam, along with the jnanendriyas. Then vimarshatma manomayaha. Vimarshatma, the doubting faculty, right? Sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha, that which is doubting, which is not taking a decision, okay, but it gives options, it gives a lot of choices, and doubting, right, whose nature is doubting. Even the emotions and desires are connected to the manomaya. So this is, we are talking about the Manomaya Kosham, right? Satvikaihi dhi indriyaihi sakam vimarshatma manomayaha. So what is this mind or Manomaya Kosham? Manomaya Kosham is dhi indriyaihi, along with the jnane. Dhi indriyahi here means jnanendriyas, which is of sattwamsham. We know all the sense organs are of the sattwamsham, whereas the karmendriyas are of rajogunam. So sattvagunam is the jnanendriyas. With the jnanendriyas, vimarshatma. Vimarshatma means which is doubting, which is, say suppose you are thinking whether to go there or whether not to go there. All of that. Before you take any decision, whatever the options are coming to me, and when you are doubting whether to do this or that, or whether to go there, not to go, whether to do this way or that way, whether I should come or whether not come, many thoughts, what to make today, or what should I do. This, when you get a lot of choices, before you take this decision, this is called the Manomaya Kosha. This is the mind. So very simply speaking, it is the mind, mental sheath, along with the jnanendriyas. Emotions, desires, they all connected with the Manomaya Koshaha. This is also Sattva Manomayaha. It is called mental sheath. Now, second. Taireva Sakam Vijnanamayodhir Nischayatmika. Nischayatmika. That faculty which takes a decision. Right? The decision making faculty. Now, whether to go there, not go there. No, we will go there. Based on whatever our previous data fed in and previous experiences, etc., we analyze it and come to a decision. Whether it is good or bad, doesn't matter. Whether it is correct or wrong, doesn't matter. Whatever it may be. Whatever be the decision, right, wrong, that doesn't matter. But a decision is made. That decision making faculty, then Buddhi, same, along with the sense organs. So, the mind is along with the sense organs is called Manomaya Kosha. The decision making faculty along with the sense organs is called Vijnanamaya Kosha. Taireva Sakam Vijnanamayodhir Nischayatmika. That Buddhi along with the same sense organs. Okay? Sense organ, that is the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandham. These five senses which the instruments which we are experiencing, those five indriyas along with the decision making faculty is called Vijnanamaya Koshaha. The deciding, the asserting, the final judging faculty along with the same sense organs. This is called Ichha Shakti. Okay, Jnanendriyas, right? So, this is the Vijnanamaya Koshaha. Now, we'll move to the next one, 36. Karane Sattvamanandamayo Modadi Vrittibihi Tattat Koshaistu Tadatmyadatma Tat Tanmayo Bhavet. Karane Sattvamanandamayo Modadi Vrittibihi Tattat Koshaistu Tadatmyadatma Tat Tanmayo Bhavet. So, we talked about the Sthula Shariram, Sukshma Shariram. Sthula Shariram is Annamaya Kosham. Don't forget, I am repeating so that you remember. That is why. Annamaya Kosham. Sukshma Shariram, the subtle body, is the Pranamaya Kosham, Manomaya Kosham, and Vijnanamaya Kosham. So, Pranamayam, the energy sheath or the vital sheath, Manomayam, the mental sheath, which is Sankalpa Vikalpatmakam, mean doubting faculty, and along with the sense organs. Okay, and the Vijnanamaya Kosham is the deciding faculty along with the sense organs. So, these three put together is called the subtle body or called Sukshma Shariram or also called Linga Shariram. Okay, Linga Shariram, Sukshma Shariram is the three sheaths, Sthula Shariram is the Annamaya Kosham, and which Shariram is remaining now? Karana Shariram, causal body. And that causal body is called Anandamaya Kosham. Okay, Anandamaya Kosham, not to be confused with the Ananda. There is a difference is there which we will explain, you will know it. So, Anandamaya Kosham it is, it's a covering. Okay, that Anandamaya Kosha is explained in the 36th verse. So, this you have to be very careful. Okay, you should listen carefully because many people get confused with the Anandamaya Kosha. Karane Sattvam. The Sattvamsham in the Karana Shariram is Modadi Vrittibihi. It has got Modam, Pramodam. Modadi Vrittibihi means Modadi. Modam, Pramodam, Priyam. Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a verse that Tasya विज्ञान अन्योन्दर आत्मानन्दमयः तेनैष पूर्णः स वा एष पुरुषविद एव तस्य पुरुषविदताम् अन्वयं पुरुषविदः. This Annamaya Koshas tasya priyameva shiraha. His head is priyam. Okay. Modo dakshinah pakshaha. The right wing is the modam. Pramoda uttarah pakshaha. Pramodam is the left wing. So what does that mean? See, when we see a particular object, okay, you see this again and again, you start liking it. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. When you see the same thing again and again, dhyayato vishayan pumsaha. So when you get, then what happens? You get attached to it. You start liking it. That liking is called priyam. Okay. So you hear, say suppose you hear a particular brand t-shirt. You start hearing, one time you heard, second time you heard from somebody else. By the time you hear about the same thing, let it be a car, new car, okay, new brand, anything, you hear one time, that is see, this is the trick by the advertisement. This is the ad. Why they are putting the ad every now and then. You see IPL, you see the same ad repeated many times. This is the psychology behind it. You see that again and again, you start having a liking towards that. Okay. Initially, if you don't like, you will like it later when you see that many times. So that is the psychology. So that is called priyam. When you get priyam, then the next is you would like to want it. When you like it, okay, I like it, so what? No. You would like to want it in your home, on your body, shirt, right? So you want to enjoy that desire. When you have that, then you will end up with modam. What is the modam? You order it. When you order that particular object, from the priyam, it will turn into modam, little higher. Okay, little higher. The priyam is there, then from the priyam it will upgrade to modam. And when you get it in your hand, when the car comes to your home, or when you get the key, it becomes pramodam. Okay, the next state, happy, happier, happiest, like that. So this is what Vidyaranyana Swami says here, modadi vrittibihi. Priyam, modam, pramodam. Next is ananda. That ananda is when you experience it. When you experience it, okay? When you wear that shirt and feel, that ananda is called Anandamaya Kosha. Why it is called Kosha? Because it will not last long. That Ananda is temporary. That is the reason. It is called Anandamaya Kosha. Wrong understanding, wrong covering. This Vishayanandam, an Ananda that we get by experiencing an external object and thinking that this is Ananda, is Anandamaya Kosha. And this wrong understanding of this fact that I will be happy by enjoying an external object is avidya. This avidya is called Karana Sharira. Okay? This is the perfect definition of causal body. This wrong understanding, this avidya, that I will be happy, I will experience Ananda permanently by having an experience of an outside desiring object is the Anandamaya Kosha, which is the root cause of the Sukshma Shariram and further the Sthula Shariram. So, the Sukshma Shariram is born out of Karana Sharira and the Sthula Shariram is born out of Sukshma Sharira. All of this comes from the base root problem of this avidya. Okay, and this avidya is called Karana Sharira, which Vidyaranyana Swami explained earlier also. Karana Sharira he explained. Okay, so that is what here he says. Karane Sattvam Anandamayo Modadi Vrittibihi Tat Tat Koshaistu Tadatmyad Atma Tat Tanmayo Bhavet. Atma tu, the Atma, right? The Atma, the Jivatma here, Tadatmyad, by identifying, by this wrong identification, okay, with the other koshas. Tadatmyad, by identifying with the koshas, with the various sheets, tat tanmayaha bhaved, becomes that kosha rupa, becomes that kosha swarupa. I am pratnyaha, I am the karana shariram, I am taijasaha, I am that taijasam. Okay, that is identifying myself with the various koshas, sheets. I am this karana shariram, I am this Vijnanamaya kosham, I am this Manomaya kosham, I am this what is that next? Pranamaya kosham, I am this Annamaya kosham. Tadatmyad, because of my wrong identification with these 5 koshas, tanmayaha bhavet, they becomes that, they become that. Okay, so this is the meaning of this. Karane sattvam anandamayo modadi vrittibihi tat tat koshaistu tadatmyad atma tanmayo bhavet. They identify with these 5 koshas and they become that. They become that means they identify it and then they become limited. They become the jivas. Okay, this verse we will explain again in the next class. This 36th verse. Okay, it's very very important. We will do it again. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Harihi Om Tat Sat Brahmarpanamastu.